In the 1,920 seconds, the United States was booming. Factories expanded. Stock prices surged. Credit was cheap. Millions of Americans bought stocks on margin, borrowing money to invest. Banks encouraged it. Regulation was minimal. The system assumed one thing: growth would continue. On the 24th of October 1929, Black Thursday, panic selling began on Wall Street. 5 days later, on October 29, the market collapsed. Billions in paper wealth vanished. But the crash itself was not the Great Depression. It was only the trigger. As stock prices fell, banks began to fail. There was no federal deposit insurance. When banks collapsed, savings disappeared. By 1933, more than 9,000 U.S. banks had closed. Credit froze. Businesses collapsed. Unemployment reached nearly 25%. The financial system stopped functioning. At the time, money was tied to gold. That limited how governments could respond. The Federal Reserve could not freely expand the money supply. Deflation set in. Prices fell. But debts stayed the same. The system punished borrowers. Exactly when they were weakest. The crisis did not stay in the United States. International trade collapsed. Countries dependent on U.S. loans were hit first. Germany, Austria, Latin America. Gold flowed back to the U.S., draining liquidity elsewhere. The global financial system fractured. Economic collapse reshaped politics. In the United States, Franklin D. Roosevelt was elected in 1932. In Germany, economic desperation fueled radical movements. Financial collapse did not cause extremism directly, but it created the conditions where it could grow. The U.S. government abandoned old assumptions. Banks were closed temporarily. The gold standard was suspended domestically. New institutions were created: the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, the Securities and Exchange Commission. For the first time, the state accepted responsibility for stabilizing the financial system. The Great Depression changed the relationship between markets and governments. Before 1929, markets were expected to self-correct. After the crisis, that belief was gone. Stability became a political responsibility. Economic systems were no longer left alone. The New Deal stabilized the system, but it did not fully end the Depression. Unemployment remained high throughout the 1,930 seconds. Recovery was slow. The final exit came only with massive government spending during World War II. The Great Depression did not end capitalism. It redesigned it. Bank regulation, social safety nets, central bank intervention. These were not ideological choices. They were survival measures. After the Depression, financial crises did not disappear, but their nature changed. Bank runs became rarer. Governments intervened earlier. The system became more stable, but also more centralized. Every major financial crisis since has followed the same logic. Markets fail. States intervene. The template was created in the 1,930 seconds. The Great Depression proved one thing: markets are powerful, but without institutions, they are fragile. Crises do not destroy systems. They force them to evolve. 1,929 was not just a collapse. It was a redesign. The world that existed before the crash never fully returned. And every modern financial system still carries the structure, built in response to that moment.